What's up, guys? It's Andrew Santowski. It's the day after Felder versus Dos Anjos. Felder lost for us last night. He took the fight on 5 days' notice. Probably should have passed on it. I thought he stood a chance. I thought he looked good in parts, but he ends up losing a split decision. And if you scored it for more strikes, I think Felder would have got the nod. But you know, Dos Anjos did control the fight. Dos Anjos fought a good fight. Can't argue with the decision there with Dos Anjos getting the win. So this is UFC 255, Figueiredo versus Perez. And this goes down Saturday, November 21st, 2020, next Saturday, man. I love that the UFC just keeps rolling out events. And I think we're going to have a new flyweight champion here, but that's in a little bit. So first fight of the night in the welterweight division, we have Nicolas Dalby against Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez taking the fight on short notice. Dalby's original opponent, Ariane Cosce, withdrew. His brother fights on this card. Daniel Rodriguez coming off a nice knockout win over Dwight Grant, I think back in August, possibly September. Yeah, August. Went over Gabe Green before that, and he made his UFC debut earlier this year against Tim Means, 3-0. I mean, what can you say, man? The guy was a big underdog to Tim Means in his UFC debut. Guys look good, man. Guys looked real good. Dalby, his his second UFC tenure isn't going as planned. Yeah, he did pick up, winning his first UFC fight in his return against Alex Oliveira. But that was controversial a little bit as well, getting a stand-up and shit. So, coming off a loss to Jesse Ronson in his last fight in July, he was a big favorite against. But I think, they're giving, they're giving Dalby to Rodriguez just for another guy that Rodriguez can add to his resume, man. So my pick's going to be Daniel Rodriguez by first round TKO. In the second fight of the night, Luis Cosce against Sasha Palatnikov. Cosce, 7-0, man. All his finishes are in the first round. I mean, just heavy power, man. So, I mean, it's really, man, what's this guy going to look like outside of the first round? I think they're giving this guy a winnable matchup here in Sasha Palatnikov. This guy's 31. He's only 5-2. Fights at middleweight and welterweight. But I think they're trying to get Cosce a win here. He's a big favorite as well. He's a minus 385. And I'm going to side with him here, man. First round TKO. I would not put my money on this guy. This guy has not been outside of the first round. I mean, for some reason this fight gets extended. Who knows what can happen, man. Guy can probably get defeated, you know what I'm saying? So why would you put your money on a first round fighter at those odds? But my pick is going to be Cosce by TKO in the first round. Next fight up, middleweight division. I really like this fight, man. Joaquin Buckley against Jordan Wright, man. Two guys coming off impressive wins, man. Buckley knocking out Cookagian in the second round. Jordan Wright coming off a TKO win, up a division at light heavyweight against Ike Villanueva. Man, and I know a lot of hype's on Buckley, man. A lot of hype is on Buckley, and well-deserved, man. He looked great against Cookagian. He lost to Kevin Holland his first fight out, but he put up an effort, man. He came forward and he put up effort. But in this fight, he's a minus 270 favorite, man, and I think he's being way overvalued against a guy like Jordan Wright, man. Jordan Wright, he's a young dude. He's got potential. He's got a nice karate base, and he's got heavy hands, man. And I just see Jordan Wright catching this guy as Buckley comes in, man, and just putting him out, man. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the underdog here, Jordan Wright, by first round TKO. I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight, man, for as long as it lasts. Next up, man, a fight that deserves to be on the main card, or even a fight that deserves the headline UFC on ESPN Plus event, man. We have Brandon Moreno against Brandon Royval. in the men's flyweight division. And I think we can say with almost entire certainty that the winner of this fight will be the next challenger for the flyweight belt between Figueiredo and Perez, whoever wins that fight. And Brandon Moreno, man, what can you say, man? The guys looked awesome, man. Coming off a nice win over Hussier Formiga last March. A win over Kai Kara France before that, man. He was underdogs in both fights. Hey, and he's looked great, man. He looks real fast, you know. Brandon Royval, man, what can you say, man? This guy made his debut in May against Tim Elliott, defeated Elliott. Then he goes over Fight Island and defeats Kai Kara France, man. I mean, the guy is just, he's game, man. And you know, I'm gonna go with him for the upset against Brandon Moreno, man. I just think that you know, this guy's on a tear right now, and you know, yeah, his stand up might need a little improvement, but he's not bad, man. He's just gonna keep coming forward. I can see him getting takedowns, reversing positions on Brandon Moreno. I just see it being a real dogfight, and at plus 146 odds, I'm gonna go with the underdog here, man. I'm gonna go with Brandon Royval to pick up a win here by decision. Next up, men's middleweight division. Kyle Daukas against Dustin Stoltzfus. Another exciting fight, man. Dustin Stoltzfus is from Pennsylvania. Looks like he's been fighting a lot overseas in Germany. Man, he's 13-1, 10-fight winning streak. Very impressive, man. Very excited to see this guy make his UFC debut. Well deserved. Going up against Kyle Daukas, man. Kyle Daukas, man, very good grappler. 27 years old, middleweight. Coming off a tough loss to Brendan Allen, man. He put up a valiant third round in a losing effort, man. He's 10-1, or he's 9-1, and I just see him out grinding Dustin Stoltzfus here, man. For him going 3 rounds of Brendan Allen, that says a lot. And I'm gonna go with the underdog here, man. I'm gonna go with the favorite here. I'm gonna go with Kyle Daukas. He's minus 230, but I'm gonna pick him to win by a decision. Next up, men's welterweight division. Alan Jouban against Jared Gooden. Alan Jouban, I don't know if he's still modeling. He hasn't fought in over a year and a half, man. He's coming off a loss to Dwight Grant by split decision. He's been very kind of inactive over his UFC career, man. He's been in the UFC since 2014, though, man. And you know, he's fought some good names, man. He's fought some good names, but you know, he's on the tail end of his career, man. He's 38 years old, kind of inactive. I've seen him do some you know, UFC announcing for the UFC as a commentator, so I don't really know where he's at professionally right now. Going up against Jared Gooden, man, 17-4. I know Daniel Levy, Best Fight Picks, is a sponsor of him, or possibly his manager. I'm not exactly sure, but he's coming out of Georgia, man, and you know, he's got some good wins on his UFC record. Lost to Michael Graves. He's been very active, man. Very active fighter, man. Within the last, you know, he's probably fought, you know, almost 6 times since since Alan Jouban last fought. But I just see him coming up a little short here in his UFC debut, man. I'm gonna go with the UFC veteran Alan Jouban to pick up the decision win here, man. As long as he doesn't get caught, I can see Jouban just winning, man. Just being savvy enough to pick up a decision win here. Next up in the as the premier prelim fight of the night, we have Antonina Shevchenko against Ariane Lipski. 2 good-looking women. Women's flyweight division. Shevchenko, man, very disappointing in her UFC career, man. Losing to Katlyn Chookagian in her last fight, just kept getting taken down. Went over Lucy Pudilova before that. She lost to Roxanne Modafferi a year and a half ago. That was in Russia, I remember that. And you know what I'm saying? Her weakness is definitely the takedown game. And Ariane Lipski, another overhyped prospect, man. She did get a nice win over Luana Carolina in her last fight. I was on Carolina in that fight, so good win for Lipski here, man. Lipski's got some good stand-up and a better ground game than Shevchenko, man. And I'm gonna go with Lipski here, man. I'm gonna go with the underdog. Lipski is a plus 124 underdog. Like I said, not a lot of confidence in this pick, man. I don't trust either woman, but I'm gonna go with Lipski here by decision. Moving up to the main card. In the opening fight on the main card, we have Mike Perry against Tim Means, man. Two guys that have really sacrificed their bodies in the UFC, man. They've taken a lot of damage and they've given a lot of damage. And you know, two exciting fighters, man. Well deserved to be on the main card. I wish it was a prelim fight just so I could personally watch it. I'm not going to order the pay-per-view, but man, Mike Perry came out earlier this week, said he had a problem. You know, he was still pretty heavy. You know, he's got a lot of weight to cut. You know, I think he's taking his training a little more serious for this fight than he did with Mickey Gall. Tim Means, he's coming off a win over Moreno Staropoli in his last fight by decision. Lost to Daniel Rodriguez before that. He's been up and down, but he's fought a lot of good names, man. He always comes to fight. I'm gonna go with Mike Perry here, man. I think Perry just carries more power as long as he's not inhibited by the weight cut. I can see Perry just knocking out Tim Means, man. But if it goes past the first, it could get interesting. But I'm gonna go with Mike Perry by first round TKO. Katlyn Chookagian against Cynthia Calvillo. Calvillo coming off a nice main event win in June against Jessica Ai. It was a very lackluster fight. I did not think that Calvillo looked overly impressive. I just think Ai looked that bad. I think Calvillo is gonna run into big problems if she ever faces Valentina Shevchenko or Jessica Andrade, you know, in this division. Katlyn Chookagian, man, looked horrible against Andrade. Just, you know, and I just honestly, you know, I was kind of high on Chookagian for a minute, and I think she can be, I think she can stay in the upper tier of this division, but I don't know how much longer she is for the sport, man. You know, she's been talking about wanting to start a family, so anytime somebody starts talking like that, they kind of have a foot out the door, so I'm going to go with Calvillo by decision, man, and this could possibly be Chookagian's last fight in the UFC. Shogun Rua against Paul Craig. I'm gonna go with Shogun Rua in this fight, man. This is their second fight, rematch from a year ago, and Shogun's an underdog in this fight, man, and he looked better than I thought he would against Nogueira, even though he was a favorite. Went 3 rounds, picked up a win, and I'm gonna go with Shogun again here as an underdog, man. Paul Craig makes a great underdog. Would not want to trust that guy as a favorite. Like I said, not a lot of confidence in this pick, but odds tell me that Shogun Rua has to be the pick, so I'm gonna go with Shogun Rua by decision. Co-main event of the night, man. Valentina Shevchenko against Jennifer Maia in the women's flyweight championship fight, man. And I'm gonna go with Shevchenko here, man. I do not think that Jennifer Maia is gonna unseed the reigning champion Valentina Shevchenko. I would love to see a rematch between Shevchenko and Amanda Nunes. My money would once again be on Shevchenko. I was on Shevchenko in the second fight in March of or in September of 2017. And I would put money on it again if they fought again, man. I think Shevchenko is Amanda Nunes' best challenge. And man, what can you say about this woman? This woman is Hall of Famer in my mind, man. So is Amanda Nunes, man. Two great fighters, but man, she is just ruling the women's flyweight division ever since they created it, man, in 2017 or maybe early 2018. But so I mean, she's fought a who's who, man, and I just see her getting a stoppage win over Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia picking up a good one over Joanne Calderwood. But Joanne Calderwood isn't that good of a fighter, in my opinion. And I just see Jennifer Maia not having a whole lot to offer Shevchenko, man. And see Shevchenko, you know, possibly getting another head kick knockout or TKO in the second round. But Shevchenko's fight to lose here, man. She's a 13-1 favorite, and no idea who's betting that. But my pick is gonna be Shevchenko by second round TKO. Main event of the night. Here's where it gets interesting, guys. I'm not sold on Deiveson Figueiredo. Yes, I made money off this guy in his first title fight with Joseph Benavidez, where he missed weight, man. That was an excellent fight last February, man. I thought he was gassing out in the second round. I think the first round was really close between him and Benavidez. I could see them giving it to Benavidez. But Figueiredo, I think, did have a knockdown late in that round. But it looked like to me he was gassing, man, before he landed that overhand right that caught Benavidez and he finished him. And then Joseph Benavidez was completely out of it in the second fight, man. He didn't look like he wanted to be there. He looked like a shell of himself. That was very scary to watch, man. Figueiredo looked like an absolute beast in that fight, man. But he's going up against a young, hungry guy in Perez, whose only fault, his only misstep in the UFC was losing to Joseph Benavidez back in 2018, man. So 2 years ago. Been on a 3-fight winning streak. You know, wins over Mark De La Rosa, Jordan Espinosa, and Jussier Formiga. And man, he really tore up Formiga, man. He hurt Formiga very badly in that fight at UFC 250 last June, man. Heavy calf kicks. And I could see him employing a similar game plan here, man. He trains out of Team Oyama, trains with Marlon Vera. And I just see him. If he can weather that early storm against Figueiredo, who's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, I think that's his fight to win, man, especially if the fight gets dragged out. But I think if he can land those calf kicks on Figueiredo, he can take Figueiredo out, man, and really hurt him. And Perez has a good ground game, man. He has a very good ground game. Yes, he has been submitted earlier in his career, about 4.5 years ago. But, you know, he's got a great training camp, man. And Figueiredo, you know, these guys are both big flyweights, man. So, I mean, they both have to make weight and look good. But Figueiredo has a notorious time of making weight. So, my picks, I'm going to go with Perez with the upset, man. TKO round 3. No bets for this card, guys. I can pretty much ensure you that. No model plays. But like I said, man, to anybody betting it, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you guys for viewing my video. And these are my UFC 255 predictions. Thanks for joining me. Bye.